Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eddie Childs, and I'm the Director of Corporate Marketing here at Mediagistic. Today, we're going to be covering the basics of social media. We're going to quickly discuss why social media is important for HVAC contractors. We'll do an overview of all major social media channels, and we'll discuss which ones are the best investment for HVAC marketing. And we'll do all of that in less than 10 minutes. Before we get started, though, a little bit about Mediagistic. We've worked in the home services marketing industry for more than 20 years, and we've helped thousands of HVAC and home services contractors throughout the United States and Canada during that time. We're also a Meta preferred marketing partner, and we've been recognized by Meta as a best-in-class agency for ad spend optimization and best practices. And finally, we're a Google Premier partner, and we have years of experience running YouTube campaigns for HVAC contractors as well. Okay, diving right into it, why social media for HVAC? Social media is profoundly important for brands. Consumers have come to expect real-time, one-to-one brand interactions, and it's these interactions that enable social media channels to touch virtually every aspect of the consumer experience. And social media offers some significant advantages for HVAC contractors, including building visibility before the time of need, deepening customer loyalty, extending customer lifetime value, otherwise known as CLV, and increasing share of wallet. And finally, social media also can do lead gen. Now, these tend to be less qualified and higher volume leads than what you would get through paid search or your website. But if you have a strong sales and CSR team that is able to handle selling motions to convert those leads into booked appointments, then running lead gen on social media can be a strong play as well. Moving right along, we're going to talk really quickly about the various social media channels and which ones are the best for HVAC contractors. First up are the Meta apps. Now, most people don't realize it, but Meta is a whole family of apps, and there's actually a fifth app called Threads, which is a Twitter competitor that Meta rolled out last year and is not pictured here. Usage and engagement aren't really high on that platform yet, but it's one to watch. However, either way, there's a huge number of users on these platforms. 69% of US adults regularly use Facebook, and 37% use Instagram. The upside to Facebook and Instagram is that these apps have a lot of monthly active users, and the extent of their coverage and range of demographics mean that consumers in your target service area are almost guaranteed to be using one or all of these apps. And you can reach even more people through the Facebook Audience Network, which is the purple icon, and the Messenger apps. Now we'll take a look at the niche newsfeed-based apps. First up is X, formerly known as Twitter, which is very valuable for brands that are tied to the news cycle and the national conversation. It's definitely a place where celebrities, athletes, politicians, journalists, and other personalities tend to congregate. It also has a number of niche communities. Nextdoor is a local app organized around neighborhoods and communities. It doesn't release monthly active user data like these other platforms, but it releases weekly active users. So even if you double that number, it's much, much smaller than other channels. It does, however, have a very devoted base of users, and some neighborhoods are way more active than others. So your results may vary with this platform much more than the others, depending on where your service area is located. Pinterest has an audience with a lot of active intent. People on this platform are often searching and building pin boards, reading how-to content, etc. One of the most prevalent forms of content on this platform is home improvement content, particularly in the kitchen and bathroom renovation space, and the demographics lean toward women homeowners in their 30s and 40s. I'd characterize these topics as HVAC adjacent, and if you offer a service like Ductless and can show a before and after of how an installation was incorporated into a garage conversion or an attic conversion or something like that, you might be able to get some traction here. Next up, LinkedIn is a professional social media network. People go here to post their resumes, look for jobs, learn new skills, and talk to other people in their field. And finally, Reddit also has a devoted following, mostly organized around message board style communities called subreddits that rotate around interest, hobbies, etc. Honorable mention goes to Google Posts, which is a quasi-social media network. Google incorporated some elements of Google Plus into Google Business Profile a few years back, which allows business owners to publish content directly visible in the search results page. All right, now we're going to talk about the three major social media video apps, and 2 out of the 3 of the ones we'll cover here are heavyweights. First up is YouTube. It's the world's second largest social media app, and it's also the second largest search engine. Not too long ago, TikTok reported 1 billion monthly active users worldwide. It's incredibly popular and adoption is growing beyond the youth market to encompass older demographics in recent years. It also has a massive amount of content being created every day, and search on this app is rising among younger users. Although it's also of note that ByteDance, which owns TikTok, is a Chinese-owned company and it's currently undergoing a lot of government scrutiny. However, it's also notable that younger demographics tend to use YouTube and TikTok for search more than they even use Google. We'll see if that search behavior trend persists into adulthood, but it's definitely something to keep in mind and keep an eye on. And Snapchat has been growing recently. It's started to see pretty heavy use in recent years by a much younger demographic. Think middle schoolers and high schoolers, and they often use it instead of text messages. Okay, so that was a lot of channels. There were 15 social media channels mentioned in the previous 3 slides alone, and that doesn't even include other paid channels like Google Ads, Google Local Services Ads, and Yelp. That means HVAC marketers really need to establish some priorities. First off, without priorities, trying to have a meaningful presence in every single channel can become a black hole for your marketing efforts. Stretching your budget and labor too thin over too many channels also has the effect of diluting your marketing presence. So focusing on the highest value channels with the largest, most active and relevant local audiences is far more likely to pay off for your home services brand. So given all that, where should home services brands invest their ad dollars? We like to break this out by priorities based on the amount of budget and where you are in your marketing efforts. First up, we have what you call the priority 1 social media channels, the Meta apps and YouTube. These have the largest audiences of daily active users, saturating virtually every US and Canadian market. They're also the most sophisticated advertising platforms with the best local targeting options and the broadest range of demographics. You can be assured that virtually every single homeowner out there is using one, if not all of these platforms on a daily basis. Next up, we have the priority 2 social media channels, Nextdoor and TikTok. Nextdoor has relevant audiences, but as we've covered, it's much smaller and adoption is highly variable by market. TikTok only recently introduced city-level targeting, and in fact, many cities still aren't in the platform, and requires a significant amount of video creative in order to appear here consistently. Consider investing in these once you start seeing diminishing returns in other channels. And finally, we have LinkedIn, which is viable for commercial contractors. It allows you to target professional audiences, in particular, people with job titles like facilities managers, maintenance directors, administrators, operations personnel, etc. Just keep in mind it's a higher cost per result than other channels. So here we are. We just covered which platforms are the best investment for HVAC marketing in less than 10 minutes. On behalf of Mediagistic and our partners, we'd like to extend our appreciation for watching this video. If you'd like to get in touch with us for a complimentary marketing assessment, visit mediagistic.com/talk to an expert. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.